Hi everybody, thanks for joining us again for our Bird of the Day clip here at Wave Hill. Today's bird is a Harris's hawk. Now the Harris's hawk is a bird that is found in the southwestern United States. They live in a desert habitat in places like Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, down into Central America. A bird of the desert. And we talked a little bit about the equipment and falconry itself in earlier clips, so I won't cover much of that right now. You can go back and learn a little bit about some of the equipment on those other video segments. What we want to do here is to give this bird a little exercise for two reasons. Number one, all the birds get exercise in captivity. I want them to be in the best shape possible. Think of them as athletes. They have to be athletes in the wild in order to catch prey and survive, and I want my birds to be the best they can be as well. In nature, 70 to 80% of all young birds of prey that leave the nest every year don't survive their first year. So only the best of the best survive in nature. So a little exercise, but also keep in mind, this is basically what a wild hawk does when it's hunting. If you're driving down the highway or you look out your window and you see a hawk sitting in the top of a tree, all it's doing is using the advantage of height and that powerful eyesight that's basically 8 to 10 times more powerful than ours, binocular vision for that reason we call it. That bird is scanning for prey on the ground. So we want to try to show you how a bird catches something running on the ground, a mammal that it might catch naturally. And for our Harris hawk, we're going to use a rabbit as an example. Now, not a real rabbit, mind you. We're going to use a tool called a lure. The lure is an imitation of what I want to teach the bird to catch if I were to go hunting for real, but also it's an exercise tool. It's something he'll be motivated to chase. So, my rabbit lure. Now all this particular lure is a piece of fur sewn together, nice and soft, even has long floppy ears. Now keep in mind, I'm not trying to fool the hawk. He knows this isn't a real rabbit, he doesn't care. What he does know, what he has learned from his training and experience, is that to catch this means food. Just like in the wild, he's going to learn that catching a real rabbit means food. And in the same time, he's earning his meal by getting exercise, the same way you'd have to do that in the wild. So we're going to set up a little scenario where I release the hawk into a tree. We're going to have a volunteer to be the rabbit. We're going to hide the rabbit where the bird can't see it, creating the element of surprise. In other words, if I were hunting for real with this bird, he'd be up in the treetops following me from tree to tree as I walk through the forest. When a rabbit runs, it becomes visible to the bird. He chases it and catches it. So we're going to create that here by hiding the rabbit lure, and on my command, you're going to see the rabbit take off across the field, and our hawk will swoop down and catch it and be rewarded. So we'll be right back, folks. So now that he caught the lure, he's eating his reward from the lure, and he naturally spreads his wings in his tail. He's really just protecting his food visually. He wants to protect it from anybody who might want to come and steal his hard-earned meal. That's instinct. That's not really something they think about. And so I allow him to finish, and then rather than going and taking the lure away, or if it were a real rabbit, I wouldn't want to take that away. I want to make a fair trade. So in simple terms, I never want to take, I always want to give. So when I've seen that he's finished the lure, I will go over there and offer him another reward on the glove. He'll hop up onto the glove and the lure goes in the bag.